Welcome back. South Africa celebrates 30 years of democracy and the bold one-person play that delves into the state of the national disaster, SONDA, offering a contemporary perspective on protest theatre. With a combination of humour, satire and heart-wrenching narratives, the play brings to life the realities of a society grappling with its past, present and future. It offers a fresh perspective on social, political issues and the complexities of democracy in a post-apartheid world. Creator, writer and actor Philangezwi Nxumalo joins us now to tell us more. Philangezwi, thanks for joining us. Welcome.
Siyabonga. Thank you for having me.
Good to have you, man, on the show. What motivated you to create SONDA, State of the National Disaster Address, to explore post-apartheid state of South Africa?
I think looking at the state of the country, first of all, for me, I felt like as a younger generation, we need to start telling our stories and also reflect on the state of the country.
Yeah.
Because this is like post-94, you know, and being a born free and everyone in my team also being a born free. So I feel like this is a new voice of what we think as young people about the state of the country. And also because, you know, it's also, they always say the future of this country is in the young people's hands. So this is us saying, this is what we think about the state of the country. These are the things that we think should happen. So we're trying to bring on some solutions, but also trying to reflect, also to make people who were there before 94 to also remember that things used to be like this, but now this is how we see things. Things are like this now. So post 94 and before 94. So bring it together and just to reflect on that. So that's basically the inspiration toward the piece.
And having said that, how then do you balance the satirical elements with the seriousness of the issues it addresses?
I think the idea in cool was because for me, I always see South Africa as, so as South Africans, we laugh at almost everything, you know, we laugh at our pain. So the way for us to heal is to laugh, you know, so that's why I was like, I think the best way for me to create a piece that's going to speak to South Africans, because I say this is the voice of the South Africans. So I was like, it's always important to make people laugh, because this is how South Africans are. We laugh at serious things, you know. So I use physical comedy, I use clowning also to bring that laughter. But then the text and the information that is there, it's very serious. But then the visuals are like a bit funny. And the characters also that you see there, because these are characters that are out there in townships, in the world. These are people that we know, that we engage and interact with every day.
We definitely have to give the cup to South Africans for laughing at their pain. And in what ways does SONDA then challenge or subvert the traditional narratives surrounding South Africa's history?
So SONDA, as I said, this is the new age protest theatre, I will say. So it takes us back to how South Africa used to be, the state of the country, and then it also gives us now today reality, you know. So that is how we're trying to do. So we're trying to go. This is what was happening before 94, but now this is what's happening now. So we're trying to bring the two together and make it one, so that when you see whether you're born free or you're not born free, you can still feel like, okay, this piece still speaks to me. You know, as a born free, or even if I'm not a born free, it still speaks to me, because for me, I believe that before 94 and now things are still the same. The only thing that has changed is the name, called democracy. But the pain and the suffering and the challenges that we are facing as South Africans, for me, I feel like they're still the same. So basically we are still in that era.
But without giving everything away, what would you point out as maybe one issue that happened pre-1994 and one in post-1994?
Unemployment, that's the big issue.
Is that post-1994?
That is post-94.
Okay.
But also even before 94, I feel like people were not working. But also, so we see in 1976 there were students that were marching for something. They were protesting for something. And then in 2015, there were students also that were protesting for something. So that is like it's like a repetition of the same thing, but they're fighting for different things, but they're still fighting for something, and these are students. You know, 1976, they're fighting for abolishment of Afrikaans, and then 2015, they're fighting for the fees. You know, so when you look at it, you're like, okay, these things keeps on coming back. You know, there was Sharpeville massacre, there was Marikana massacre. You see, all those things, they keep on coming back. So that's what I'm saying. The reality is still the same, but mostly unemployment. Unemployment is the thing,
So what attracted you to your role in SONDA? I mean, how did you prepare for portraying your character in this satire?
So during as I was busy thinking about the piece, I had to have a lot of conversations with my friends and also people that I don't know, like South Africans, every South African in every walks of life, anywhere you can think, you know, whether you say sound cheap or you say look shiny, you say rural area, you say Makai, everywhere. So I had conversations just to understand how people feel, you know. So all these characters are inspired by conversation that I had with people, like different people, my friends, people that I don't even know, that I meet for the first time.
What kinds of conversations?
So most questions and conversation that I had was, what do you think about the state of the country? And also the show follows these characters who are anticipating the change through the state of the nation by the president. So then we follow these characters who are saying this is what they hope the president can say, because the big day in the show, in the play, the big event is the state of the nation by the president. So all these characters now are saying, this is what I wish the president can say. This is what I'm expecting the president to say. So I had a lot of conversation. Every time when there's going to be a state of the nation, I go to people and ask, so what do you think the president should be speaking about? Because I feel like sometimes the president or the minister or whatever, they speak about things that we don't want. I feel like they don't understand what we want. And maybe this is a show that, for me, if this show says, this is what South Africans really want you to speak about or really want you guys to do.
Okay.
You know, instead of you thinking that this is what you actually want. Because I feel like I always say, have the ministers or everybody have sat down and asked, what do you want as a South African citizen? So that we understand that we're doing the right thing now. Maybe we're thinking that we want money, but we don't want money. Maybe we want jobs instead of you giving us the money. The 350 or whatever. I'm saying, you know, maybe we want jobs. Maybe we want opportunities. You know, maybe we don't want that what you think you want. But you see, then a lot of people who are in this position don't know what we want. So for me, the SONDA is saying, this is what South Africans think. And this is what South Africans want. Okay. Yes, so everybody who's coming, if you come to see the show, you're going to see South Africans.
So how is the show structured? Are you delivering your own SONA/SONDA, or is it just a monologue?
So the play is inspired by soccer, you know, like so it's inspired from like, you know, when there's like Soweto Derby, for example. So when there's a Soweto Derby, there's always an anticipation from Monday to the weekend. And then they start asking people. So the story is being told through a commentator. So the commentator is the narrator of the story. He's commentating, this is what's going to happen, this is what's happening, and then the media gets to interview different characters. But then the main event that we are going to is SONA. So SONA happens, but then the thing about SONA is that when the SONA happens, it doesn't happen, but it does happen, you know, and that's the disaster of the show. That now everybody's anticipating for SONA, and then when the moment of SONA comes, a lot of things start to happening. There's a lot of clash in parliament. Our leaders are clashing, different political parties are clashing, everybody's fighting. While we,
I wonder how you portray those clashes.
You know, so the story is told through physical comedy and clowning. So there's a lot of clowning that is being told in that. Yeah.
All right. All the best, man. Thank you so much for joining us.
Yeah, thank you so much.
Share more details.
So the show is happening at the Market Theatre. We're opening on Thursday, the 14th of March, so 7:30, then Friday at 7:30, and then Saturday we have two shows, 3:30 and 7:30. Then we are closing on the 17th of March on Sunday at 3:30. Ticket is 100 Rand. People that want to buy tickets, they can go through to Web Ticket or they can go to the Market Theatre website. Get your ticket. Come, let's have a conversation about the state of the country.
Absolutely. Great chatting to you, Peter. Thank you so much for joining us, man.
Thank you.
Well, that was the creator, writer, and actor of the play SONDA, a contemporary take on protest theatre, blending satire, physical comedy, and poignant storytelling to shed light on the post-apartheid state 30 years into South Africa's democracy.